Baskonia or Murcia right now, they don't have Spanish players.
Of course. So
They don't have Spanish players playing. But this is a point at the same time that this is a professional league.
in Asia, we always talk about we have to limit the foreign players so that the local players has the time to develop and have the chance to play.
There's a very difficult limit between protect the spots for the locals and overprotect the spots of the local. It's important not only play, is play against who? Someone that can challenge you. I feel that Taiwan now having 3 imports on the game, the level is increasing. So every minute that a local player play have more quality. And it's not about quantity, it's about quality too. Where is the perfect balance?
You talk about the Spanish system, right? This is one thing I'm interested in as well, because in Spain, you guys are school-based? You play in school, or you play in state team, or like the professional club system? Because like you mentioned, a lot of the young kids like Rubio, he already with Barcelona like age 14 or 15,
Yeah.
and Doncic
14.
14, right?
14 in ACB. 14 on ACB.
And then Doncic, he played for Real Madrid, like 15 years old and something like that. The kids, what is the player pathway for the Spanish players or even the players in the Europe?
I think that most of the countries in Europe, the structure is exactly the same. It's like the football teams. We have clubs. Your club can be competing in ACB like Real Madrid. Your club can be competing in the second division. Your club can be competing on the third division. For the basketball federation in Spain, on the moment that you have a team more, I mean, we can have like 6 divisions a little bit. On this first 6 division, your club is mandatory to have 2 teams under 18, under 16.
Okay.
So you need to have most of the clubs, which I would say, like, I'm not going to say 100%, but most of the clubs, I mean, when we talk about the league, the ACB, they have under 10 academies, under 12, under 14, under 16, under 18. As an example, the Cup of Spain that was last week, we play the under 14 tournament with all the ACB teams. They play under 14 tournament. So the structure of the kids start from the bottom, and the kids are always allowed to play in one competition more than your age. If my license is under 14, I'm allowed to be playing games with my under 16 team. This is really important because usually for example, when I was on the base before leaving Spain on my last club, my under 14 team, my under 16 team, we have 2 kids that even both play for the Spanish under 20 national team. And they were playing with my team some games, but they practice with the under 18 every day. And they play games with the under 18. When I was coaching the senior team of that team on the Spanish third division, I used to have on practice maybe 2 days a week minimum my best under 18 players. So like this, you do, instead of going like the step by step, you go on a line on the development. And when you have a kid that maybe for your regional league is under 18, is really good and is everyday killing, and is like, maybe is too tall, you put him on the senior team on practice, you put him playing, and you challenge him. And this is one of the things that maybe in Europe happen what don't happen even on the United States, because United States, Luka Doncic was not able to be playing with 18 on the NBA. But Luka Doncic, when already was 18, he played 2 years the EuroLeague, because when he was 16, he started playing for Real Madrid. So this give the players that they are really good the chance to have early challenge and keep challenging, because if not, maybe like the line of growing can stop when you don't have anyone that challenge you.
So that means the system in Spain is like the club teams will like the main character thing in the system. So let's say if in your region, okay,
yes, and I cut here because at the same time the local federations, they used to do groups with the best local players. So we have under 12, under 14, and under 16. We have the club championships. They play with their teams, and if you are good on your local league, you qualify for the next, and if you are good on the next, you play the Spanish championships. We can say that a small city of my hometown in San Sebastian can play against Real Madrid the finals of Spain, because one good generations, and in my hometown happened, we have some good generations that they compete on the top on Spain. Some players that they play Spanish national team. But at the same time, under 12, under 14, and under 16, we have the Spanish championships of regions. The Basque Country, where I am, they do maybe 2-3 weeks. They put the best players from the best teams from the region practice together, where at the same time, the talent is spread, but they are putting sometimes together to practice together, and they compete together with the jersey of the Basque region, under 12, under 14, and under 16. Well, and this gives it the chance even sometimes to players that they are playing on their small town, but they are good to, because maybe their team is not good, to compete with the best players of the region on their Spanish championship. So we have two. One is the teams and another is the region.
Okay. So let's say if there's a kid in your region, in your hometown, which was really good. And then is it possible, like maybe big teams like Real Madrid or Barcelona, they have a scout there, they spotted this kid. Oh, this kid really good. We want to recruit him to our academy. Is it possible?
Happen is like this. Just like this. Of course, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventud, they used to be recruiting the best. Right now, from my hometown, we have Darío Brizuela. He was on this Spanish national team that they won the Eurobasket. He played for FC Barcelona. And I remember Darío, maybe when he was already, when he was 12, he showed his talent. When he was 14, he had interest from better teams. But the team of our city on his age was enough good competitive. And he left the city with his last under 18 year. He went to Estudiantes, but before he have offers, but he have a chance to be competing good on his home team. And this is a part where not only depends on if a team wants you, it's about like, my team is competitive, I'm learning, and you have one on this is the point. He's under 16, he's really good, so we can give him a chance to be playing the under 18. So he can stay at home because he's challenging his game also, because he's playing against bigger bodies, this is a little bit the point. I coach a kid, like he got offers when he was under 16 also, and he decided to stay at home. This is a part where depends on families, on what they want, but of course, Real Madrid and Barcelona, they sign players from rest of Spain, and right now even from rest of the Euro. We talk about Luka Doncic, but we can talk about Mario Hezonja. He arrived really early to Barcelona. Now he play NBA. Now he's playing in Real Madrid. Remember, Kristaps Porzingis, everybody knows from the NBA. He played in Sevilla in a team of South because he left Latvia with 16, something like this. I remember to see him really early. So not only local players, sign even European players.
Yeah, this one, you talk about signing European players to the Spanish team, right? And this
signing it, because in Spain, and after 16, you can work, you can earn money. So they pay money, eh?
Yeah, and this got me thinking, because a lot of people, like in Asia, I think maybe in Taiwan also, they have this thinking like we need to limit the foreign players. We cannot like open but in Spain, Spanish ACPR, if I'm not mistaken, they have the less local players in one team. Like let's say in Barcelona or Real Madrid, maybe they only have 5 local players in one team.
Baskonia or Murcia, right now they don't have Spanish players.
Oh, so
they don't have Spanish players playing. But this is a point at the same time that this is a professional league. We need to understand first, Europe and Spain have things to understand about the laws. You consider Spain as a country, but Spain is part of the European Union. The European Union laws allowed to all the European people. We don't need visas to travel. We don't need visas to work. So I'm Spanish. I can be in Germany 3 years in a row, not like limit like when you travel there. This means that I'm free to work there. So the league cannot put limitations on these French, German people because they are European. And there's a law over Spanish law that say like all the European, we are free to travel, free to move, free to work. This create even a new rules in Spain where a European, like Italian kid that come to the Spanish under 16 team, he's considered 100% Spanish because he grow basketball in Spain, so he got local Spanish. Of course, right now, the Spanish basketball, we are not like years ago with the Gasol brothers, Navarro, and playing the finals of the Olympics. Amazing games against the United States and being close to win. Even the World Cup in China, even Spain won that work. We are right now not having all this talent that we had before, and start being a little bit the discussion about like for the last FIBA window, it's difficult even have a big number of Spanish players playing on the ACB minutes, but still a professional league, and there's a problem there because there's a business where they can say like the problem is when the spots for the Spanish are mandatory, some of the Spanish players you need to overpay, and some good Italian players are cheaper than one regular Spanish player because are not too many, and like the price of this player increase. So I mean, it's not easy, but that's true that in Spain, like I'm saying, right now, two teams, they don't have any Spanish players play. But Unicaja Málaga, they won the cup. They play the Basketball Champions League in Europe, and FIBA forced them to have minimum 4 Spanish players. So they won the cup with the Spanish players, something that is also good.
This is something interesting because we have the discussion, like what I want to say is, in Asia, we always talk about we have to limit the foreign players so that the local players has the time to develop and have the chance to play. But in Spain, you don't have the restriction. You can have like just now when you mentioned like 2 teams, they don't even have Spanish players. But the Spanish basketball, the Spanish national team, they are still very, very competitive still, and Spain still can produce a lot of good players. That's the interesting part because you don't limit the foreign players, but you still have a very strong national teams.
There's a very difficult limit between protect the spots for the locals and overprotect the spots of the local. If you only allowed, let's go to put it example, 1 import, you have 4 players that, okay, they are playing, but they are playing against who? It's important not only play, is play against who? Someone that can challenge you. That's why where's the balance between they are competing, and if we put more imports, the level of the leagues grow. And this is a point that I have really clear. You talk about the game of the team Taiwan against Philippines recently, and I'm pretty sure that watching the age of these kids, most of them are new generations, like Abashil, like Lu Chunxian. Some of these kids, they went to China to play, but I feel that Taiwan now having 3 imports on the game, the level is increasing. So every minute that a local player play, have more quality. And it's not about quantity, it's about quality too. Where is the perfect balance? I don't know. Anybody knows. That's why sometimes the leagues start changing this rule. But you need to find a balance between competitive and play the minutes. Because I would say like 40 minutes non-competitive, 40 minutes between you and me are not as good as if we play 20, but we play against someone better. These 20 minutes give us more quality. And when we have this is when we can improve our game.